Hi, I'm John Byrne with Poets&Quants. Welcome to another edition of our one-on-one interviews. Today I'm in St. Louis at the beautiful campus of Washington University at the Olin Business School with the new dean, Mark Taylor. Mark, welcome.
Thank you, it's great to be here. I'm not so new now, I think I'm in my 8th month, but this is certainly my beginning of my first academic year here at WashU.
And not only is it your first academic year, it's the 100th anniversary of the Olin School.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about how the school has evolved over all this time.
Washington University launched its business school, would have been the School of Commerce, back in 1917. It was one of the first business schools to be launched in the United States, or indeed anywhere in the world. Since that time, we have grown from a very tiny, small class to being one of the great business schools of the world. We have extensions in Mumbai, in Shanghai, as well as in Washington, D.C. through the Brookings Institution, as well as here in St. Louis. And of course we have one of the top-ranked undergraduate programs,
Indeed,
as well as a leading MBA program. And we are a full-service school now covering a range of master's programs, executive education, and a thriving doctoral program as well.
One thing that strikes me about the campus and the business school in particular is the intimacy of the programs. So your undergraduate program and your MBA program, they are not factories by any stretch of the imagination.
I think everyone that comes to WashU, to Olin, has a name and has a story, and you're well known by your faculty, by our excellent staff. It's very, very supportive. And I think that's one aspect of Washington University in general, but of Olin in particular, that marks us out from our comparator and competitor schools.
What's your sense in general of the state of business education today in the world?
Well, there has, as you know, been a lot of soul-searching post-financial crisis about the ethics of business and thinking about people and planet as well as profit. And I think that's become ingrained to be honest, to be fair, in many programs. I think, as I say, I think it never actually went away here, something that's been certainly consistent throughout Olin's history. I think there's also an issue about relevance. I think students and employers increasingly want value for money, and they want to know the degrees, they want to know the knowledge and the skills that are being imparted have direct relevance for a student's career, for an alumni's career. So thinking about specialisms is something that we're doing very, very hard at the moment in terms of in the midst of our curriculum review and our strategic refresh.
Of course, another appeal of going to school here is Midwestern values that translate into a very friendly and accessible place. Have you experienced that sort of friendly Midwestern attitude?
I have actually, and that was a key factor in my decision to come here. There is this very, very strong Midwestern culture, as you pointed out, which is very open. There's a strong work ethic. It is based on integrity and straightforwardness, which I think is very valuable in business life.
And the other thing that you have is access to a great city, St. Louis, and its cultural attractions.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I've lived in Washington, D.C., I've lived in London, I've lived in New York, I know San Francisco very well. And of all those cities, I actually personally prefer St. Louis. There's nothing I want that I can't find in St. Louis. There is culture, there is entertainment, there is accessibility, and it is, it feels to me like one of the world's great cities.
I mean, the other part of the program is its global nature. Talk about some of the opportunities that students here have to experience the world outside St. Louis.
It could be an organization like Red Bull, for example, on the West Coast, or increasingly we like to get our students working overseas, perhaps working on a project in a developing country with an NGO, a non-profit, or it could be a small business, an entrepreneurship being set up. Then actually be on the ground in the country for several weeks, working with that organization at a really hands-on practical level, and then come back to St. Louis and continue until they've actually solved that problem. We really do have that entrepreneurial culture that we integrate and work with here. And that's, again, a unique aspect of an Olin education.
Now, Mark, one thing that makes you an unusual dean, for sure, is your scholarship in Shakespeare. How did that become an attraction to you, meaning English literature?
Literature really tells a lot about human nature, the human condition, And thinking about those issues is very important. Being a person, being part of humanity is an important part of being an effective leader, of being an effective business leader. I also think that performing arts are very, very important, particularly in a business school education, because being able to project, being able to persuade, being able to get one's viewpoint across is in some sense part of drama.
So what's your best advice to an applicant who wants to come and take advantage of the Olin School, either as an undergraduate or an MBA?
We are looking for individuals who are, yes, excellent and want to pursue excellence. We're looking for people who have a strong value system that really think about integrity, think about ethics, but also want to have a global outlook. Yes, we are based right here in the Midwest in the United States, but our vision is global and our thinking is entrepreneurial, innovative. The environment here is a very, very supportive one. That's not to say that we don't recognise the importance of competition and free enterprise, and I wouldn't want to be up against any of our graduates in the marketplace, but I certainly would want to be one of their colleagues.
Mark, thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
This is John Byrne with Poets&Quants at Washington University's Olin Business School with Mark Taylor, the new dean.
Thank you.